It's very difficult right now for me to explain to a lot of the political tyros, the newbies, the panjandrums, the parvenus, those who always think they have something to say, who always think they know what's going on. And you say, well, you do and you don't. Let me give you an example. Last night was an experiment. Last night was the chance to look into the laboratory to see one aspect of our society and to work through it. Just observe. What do you get from it? Most people can't analyze it because they're overwhelmed with it. It's like going into a party. Imagine you walk into this room, you knock on the door, you say, oh, is this apartment 15J? Okay, yeah, this is it. Oh, I can hear the noise. And you open up the door and you're pulled in and it's crowded and you have some people you know, some people you don't, some people who are drunk, some people who are crazy, good music, good food, bad food. You're pushed around and you're trying to just orient what's going on, to orient yourself. Your orientation is going on. What's happening? Where do we go? What does this mean? Who is that? What's going on? Is this the right room? You don't know. You're pulled into this. And that's what's happening right now. And there are a lot of people who swear they understand, but what they'll do is they'll focus on one person in the room and say, look at that. There is my enemy. Or look, this is a good party because there's my friend. Or and they say, no, it's a composite. It's everything. Do you know what's happening? Do you grasp what's happening completely? It is not just one event. And there are these hints. There are aspects of this. When you go to a party, it's food, liquor, music, crowd, temperature. There's a lot of factors, not just one. You can go to a great party with no food. You go to a great party with a lousy party with great food. There's a balance. What's happening right now in our world? What's happening? What did the Super Bowl tell us? Mrs. L and I watch none of this, but I want to see what people are saying afterwards. I want to see a couple of spots. Now, remember, how do you focus? Do you focus too much? I know people who say, give me an example. When you watch the crowd, the music, people will say, a lot of white folks will say, this Super Bowl is obviously catered to black people. Why? Look at all the black music, all the black rap. This is their target. Black. And I say, no, this is the music today. It's not my music. I'm not talking about you. You're missing the point. You see how people always look at it internally. This is all about black people. No, this is it. This is the music of the world. If I ran this, that's exactly what I'd be doing. It's not what I want. It's not what you want. They're not going to play Tommy James and the Shondells. What do you think this is? You see how people always see things from their point of view? They're not able to read the room via what's happening in the world. We're going to get to that. I'm going to tell you how to read it. It's like counting cards. How to take your own particular ideas, push them aside, and pay attention to what's happening in the world. Now, remember, as we always say right now, this is the most critical thing in the world. This is really important. Right now, there's 267 days until the election. 267 days until one of the most important elections ever. Do you grasp that? Do you understand what's happening? Good. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what you need to know. And more importantly, how you read the room, how you pay attention to what's happening. But first, dear friend, remember this, a very critical words from our sponsor. Let me ask you a question. Have you taken a good look at the banks lately? You know, on the surface, everything seems fine, but there's a whole lot more going on underneath. It's like looking under the hood of a car and finding a mess of broken wires and parts. And the parts are loans for homes and cars and those credit cards we all use. And they're hitting record highs. It's most frightening when you think about it. Why risk your money for a tiny 5% return when things are so shaky? This is where Noble Gold Investments can help. They're like that friend who knows all about keeping money safe. They suggest gold and silver, oldies but goodies in the financial world. Plus, they've got a sweet deal. A free quarter-ounce gold standard gold coin this month if you qualify. Pretty cool, right? You better believe it. Now, if you're curious, just give them a call at 877-646-5347. It's just a chat. There's no pressure. They'll help you figure out if gold and silver are right for you. Or visit LionelNationGold.com and take the first step towards a safer financial future. LionelNationGold.com. And remember, there's always a risk of investment and there's no guarantee of any kind. The first thing that you have to remember is that you have to take away your own particular bias from reality. Your own particular bias, your own way of seeing things. You always see things the way you want them to be. You can't help it. It's just what you do. There's this thing. You want like-minded people to affirm what you believe. You've heard of cognitive dissonance. This is cognitive consonance. You want to see things the way you want them to be. Change bothers you. Change you don't know. And what you are is because you are talking to fewer and fewer people, and you have fewer and fewer friends, and you have fewer and fewer references to history and what's going on, your worldview is so distorted, it can be very upset sometimes. That's why you like Fox News, if you can watch that trash. It's really bad. I mean, it's really bad, but you don't realize it because it seems to be familiar. That's a familiar face. You know, you're going into the party and, oh, there's Jerry. At least I can talk to him. What do we watch? Oh, I don't know. What do we watch? Why are you watching TV? Because that's all I know. Turn the TV off. Go elsewhere. Go to internet streaming. Well, I can't believe the number of people I know who don't stream, who actually still watch CNN or whatever it is. Now, look, I can't help you with that. This is apoptosis. This is blebbing. This is controlled cellular death. You and I must die to make way for the new. And we will fight our damnedest to keep from being pushed out of the equation. Now, here's the thing. You can keep your reference points and move along the conveyor belt and get along with people, or you can remain adamant and live in this fantasy world that you don't really see what's going, because it's about triangulation. Going back to my party analogy, when you're in this party, you got to kind of move in order to get to that side of the room. You got to maybe go this way at first because there's more room, and then you cut across. That's kind of what political angulation is. And to angulate, to coordinate, this is what's happening. Now, you also have to look at yourself as the Jane Goodall, the David Attenborough, you have to look at human behavior. Politics is behavior. It's not about right or wrong. It's not that way. You also have to understand what the political opposite, not the enemies, the opposites. What do they think? These are things that are completely alien. Nobody wants to do this because most people want their world affirmed. You don't want to hear and think that you're going to lose, or that your guy's not doing well, or that you're just in the wrong time. There are certain things that just don't work. Certain things just die out. Certain forms of music, there's a shelf life to it. Apoptosis, blebbing, this cellular programmed cellular death. It's a part of our world. I don't know what the framework is, but it's the way it is. Now, let's talk about this. First, we can talk about all night long about the Super Bowl and how stupid it is. And yeah, it is. But this is the crucible. This is a chance for you to look at something. Number one, I can't say this again. White America, and I will say that, has never understood, and I talk about the prototypical white America, has never understood hip hop. We don't call it rap anymore. Hip hop, whatever you want to call it. Never. That's always seemed to be an encroachment upon your sensibilities. It scares the hell out of people. I see it. I know it. When someone comes out and is what you say, look at this thuggish behavior. It's not thuggish. To you, it's thuggish. This is the most important vehicle of music today. Do you think, seriously, do you think that this is just about promoting the black or the left message? That this is not popular? Nonsense. It's not about just putting. Now, there were a couple of things from what I'm able to glean from somebody who did not watch this. There seems to be less sexual, overtly sexual. Remember that WAP? Remember these big arsed steatopygian behemoths who would come out, these just monstrously obese people sweating and shaking and grinding? And no, you don't see that. Did you notice how Usher, again, I'm just somebody who's casually looking at this, kept talking about God. Do you hear this? Are you paying attention? Did you see this? Did you hear this thing about God? One of the chiefs, somebody had a piece of it. I don't know. He was talking about God. To me, that's sacrilege. Americans, in particular, have this infantile notion of God. It's this infantilism. It's sacrilege. It's that God is so petty as to care about a stupid Super Bowl game. God is comic book to people. God is this white man. I mean, maybe white man, but this white bearded guy up in the sky. And he's got this thing and there is that. And I know people don't, but you know what? Accept it. Accept it. People have to understand this. As we are speaking, you're going to have to do something which many people cannot do because it drives them crazy. You have to listen what the enemy is saying. Somewhere, to be a spy, to be to work for CIA or whatever, to be an operative, to be in another country, you have to listen to a lot of shite from people that you can't stand because this is the enemy. This is the enemy. Israel most probably has, I'm sure, a couple of spooks or undercovers in Hamas. These people have to listen to this crap to send the information back. Nobody calls back Mossad and says, you got to take me out of here. These people are crazy. What do you mean? I don't know if I can take this anymore. What do you mean you can't take this anymore? What do you mean you can't take this anymore? What does that mean? What does that mean? You can't take this anymore? No, these people talk a lot of shite. I know. That's why you're there. That's why you're there, to hear it, to report back. So what are they saying? What are they saying? And most people, I promise you, cannot tell me what it is that the Democrats are still thinking now. Let me ask this question. Do you believe that Biden's mental problems that are obvious, and don't kid yourself, everybody's known this, but do you believe that they are going to translate into votes for Trump? First question. Do you believe good news, President Trump? Why? You got it. Why? Because Biden is crazy and that's it, and don't worry about it. Do you believe that? Anybody? Do you believe that the people say, well, I can't vote for Trump. I'm going to vote for Trump now. Well, because Biden's out of his tree. Do you think that? You're out of your mind. They're not going to Trump. They're not going to Trump. You don't understand how this thing works. There are people who hate him. You got to understand this. There are people who hate him, and the hardcore are going to say, we're going to vote for somebody else. That's why it's going to be Gavin Newsom. It's already, they're already behind the scenes, the blinds, everybody is saying he's gearing up. It's going to happen so fast. It's like AI or AGI. It's absolutely so fast. It will be like it always was. It will be such a smooth transition. You won't know anything about it. They're already talking. They're doing it left. You've got to pay attention. But what people that I know will say is because they don't like him, they say, well, that's not going to happen. No. Be a strategist. I can't be a strategist, they will tell you. They will tell you, this is personal to me. I can't think of this. I can watch it. Sports people can watch a game and say, well, I'm a 49ers fan, but, that was a good move on the part of the Chiefs. That was a good move. Pass play protection, secondary is terrific. No, they can do that. But when it comes to politics, no, they can't. Why? Because we have children. We have uneducated, unimaginative, inexperienced, and historical or ahistorical, depending on where you're from, people who have this childish kind of us versus them. They don't understand the levels, also the problems that are one of the things about people who do disease research, cancer research, will understand what makes cancer so tough and disease research and the like is that these things constantly change. They change direction. Cancers will go into the thing called angiogenesis, where they actually make new blood vessels, new circuitry into someplace else. Like, damn, oh, it's good. Others through mutation, viruses. It's like, well, that thing you were dealing with before, that's not the one that's going to kill you. It's this new version. It's this mutation. Wow. Then there's metastasis of cancer. Okay, we got that here too. Too bad. It's off and running. The markers are, it's elsewhere. It's gone. It's in the lymph node. It's everywhere. Forget it. So there's these things that. So here's what I'm trying to tell you. Number one, go by one premise, and that is the shadow government, whoever it is, will not let Donald Trump win under any circumstance. This time, try to find it. We know where everybody's going. We know what Dinesh D'Souza is going to do. We know the sloppiness. We know there's pictures of people coming at 3 a.m. and dumping. We know everything to do. We have sued everybody who's dared to claim that the election was stolen. We have threatened every lawyer with disbarment for daring to claim this. We have scared people silly. So we learn from that respect. So they're going to be rather loath. They will be rather wary and chary. That's a good word. CHARY. Rather disinclined to promote this because we showed them how to do this. Don't go there. Whatever happens, if somebody blows up a precinct, you keep your mouth shut. So here's the official narrative. The right wing, I should say that the Trump supporters are saying, oh no, if Trump maintains a certain gap, a certain percentage advancement over the Democrats, they can't do anything. The Democrats will not be able to steal this if Trump is like winning by 20%. You can only steal if it's within a small margin. Bullshit. Where did you hear that from? This is what they're saying. Are you hearing this? Rule number one, if they want to steal this, they will do it legally. And there's nothing you can do. So put that over here. Just remember that. Remember that. They control everything. Media, courts, DOJ, enforcement, name it. The only thing they don't theoretically own is Twitter. That's it. And Tucker Carlson and others, which is another story. So rule number one, if they want to steal this, they're going to do it. Or if they want to win it, they could win it. Rule number two, will the adults win out? There are people who say, look, we care as much about, there are foreign people who care almost as much about this election as people who are from here. Don't think that everybody who is in charge of this is from, Cincinnati. There are people from France and Belgium and, Switzerland and Germany and Berlin. There are people who have really got their money focused on this because we're the powerhouse and they have obviously business interests in this. And these are folks who are coming along and they're saying very, very frankly, they're saying, look, we really don't care who's the president. We don't care what happens. We just want our agenda. There's a lot of folks out there who are making a fortune, who could make a fortune in terms of things like, what am I trying to say? Who are making a fortune in terms of EV, climate stuff, people who are going to want central bank digital currency, people who are going to want climate change, big pharma, big whatever. I mean, there's loads of people. There's also a very serious move, interestingly enough, to bring and to coax war with Iran. Remember, they love chaos. And what they are looking at right now is if there is a tripwire, and if the United States, and please don't take this the wrong way, if the United States goes too far in bombing Houthis, and a lot of this stuff has been theoretical, Tower 22, revenge, whatever. But if the U.S. goes a little too far and incurs the wrath of Iran, how is that going to work? Is that the October surprise? Is that how that works? This is really tough. How do we figure this? You see where Bobby Kennedy is saying, oh, no, wait. Bobby Kennedy's stuck. Bobby Kennedy is absolutely, positively, he is such a Republican, it's not even funny. Anti-vax, pro-Israel. Now, I'm saying that in a very general way. That's what he's perceived as. The left are saying, I don't even know who you are. What are you talking about? The left have just abandoned Bobby Kennedy. So what's he going to do? Where's he going to take his votes from? Trump. Don't think people aren't going to be pushing. Don't think people aren't going to be pushing Bobby Kennedy in order to take away Trump votes, which is stupid because if you represent the, for lack of a better word, the pro-Israel lobby, that's not going to help. Because your only chance, if you want to continue with this, you need Trump. Trump has been absolutely in lockstep, rock solid with BB and through Jared and others. Look, I'm just telling you the way it is. I'm not passing any judgment. I'm telling you we're just moving chess pieces here. That's it. You bring Bobby Kennedy in, and all that does is just dilute Trump. So, and that can have a big effect. So a lot of stuff going on here. So there are people who are looking at this and they're saying, we really don't care who's going to win. We just want to make sure who is going to affect our agenda. And the best would be Gavin Newsom. Let me explain this to you. First and foremost, number one, American voters in particular are so base and so they're into looks and weight and height and they're going to look at me and say, ooh, all right, because they're going to say, oh, look at this guy. He's tall and his clothes fit and he's young and he's got to kind of got that salt and pepper gray thing. Doesn't look too young, doesn't look too old. It's kind of in that, he could be on Dynasty. He's got the blonde wife. And Kimberly Guilfoyle is just simmering. She is beyond irrelevant at this point. So is Don Jr. You know what I'm saying? You haven't heard from him? Please stay away. Eric, keep the family away. Keep the Trump family away. Believe me. Listen to you. Focus. Trump's having fun saying, is it Vivek? Is it Tim Scott? Is it Carrie Lake? I don't know. He's loving to do this. All right. But while he does that, if all of a sudden somebody really works, and when I say this, that means they're not going to do it. If they're smart, they're going to say, all right, Newsom, we're going to take you to boot camp here. And we're going to have acting coaches. We're going to show you camera angles. We're going to show you stage presence, stagecraft, how you do things, how you look, how you pause. We're going to show you your good side, your bad side, what you look, what your tells are, things you say. We're going to make you very hard to be mimicked. Impersonators are going to have a very hard time with you because we're going to fix all that. We're going to fix that. And you are going to sell this. And there are billionaires and trillionaires around the world who say, basically, remember, if you know the name of somebody, they're not in charge. They're not in charge. The people who are in charge of the world, you don't know their names. So they're going to come on, they're going to say, you're going to do this. Biden was whatever. Biden was an auto pen. They just signed it. There's no need to do this. Because it's not merely a matter of just slipping in some program. We need to have real stalwarts. And Gavin Newsom can do it. And we've been talking about, I've been forever, because the people I'm talking about have been saying the same thing. This is nothing new. I don't know where anybody's been. Believe me, I get my intel from some good sources who were telling me. Sparky says, even with fortification, 2020 wasn't close. So it took early morning shenanigans to get the results. Yeah. But the thing is, Sparky, they will, if they want, and thank you, by the way, they will, if they want to steal this flat out, put it this way. Like I said, if all of a sudden a Wisconsin precinct or key precincts are just blown up, you know what they're going to say? Would you stop it? Are you doing this again? Have you no shame? Are you really laying this on us? Are you claiming what more? Are you election denier? You just won't win, will you? I don't know what you want to call it. Trumpies are just what's going on? I mean, what is going on? Why are you doing this? Why are you even? And that's what they're going to do. Okay, that's that. Now, aside from this, you must understand there is a level. Here is the takeaway, and this is the most important of them all, okay? The left and the right are corrupt. They are one and the same. Not one in the same. One and the same, okay? Why do I say this? Let's assume that there were Chinese people storming the borders. Chinese citizens, and there have been, but instead of Venezuelan criminals, and it's just CCP, left and right, in uniform, in uniform. Let's imagine, go, oh my God, this is the Chinese army. Chinese army installations. They got an army base. And imagine if you turned to the Republicans and say, what are you doing about this? And they did nothing. You would know the fix was in. Well, that's what's happening now. What do I mean by that? What do I mean by that? Raul says, if Newsom becomes president, will he restore law and order? He is going to say that. By the way, Raul, he's going to say that. And let me explain to you something about this in a moment, about law and order. It's a very good point. It's a very good question. But before, listen to our good friend about how to luxuriate. Well, it is time yet again, my friends, to hail and salute our great friends at mypillow.com. And if you use promo code Lionel, you'll get a free gift. No purchase necessary. And yes, I know, a free gift. It's a tautology, so sue me. But first, please listen. What are we talking about here? Down comforters, flannel sheets, Giza Dream bed sheets, MyPillow 2.0 sheets, slippers, percales, towels, quilts, bedspreads, mattresses, mattress covers, mattress toppers, linens, kitchen towels, bathrobes, name it. Literally name it. Items to help you luxuriate and relax. And they're monster sellers. Slippers, my slippers. That's right, slip-ons, moccasins. Think about it. What do they do at MyPillow? They make things real soft and plush and comfy. How perfect. Now here's the link. MyPillow.com, promo code Lionel, or MyPillow.com /Solidus or Virgil /Lionel, or call 800-645-4965. And watch how fast Mike answers the phone. MyPillow.com, promo code Lionel, simply and absolutely the best. The question was asked by Raul, will he restore law and order? Now you're going to ask yourself this very simple question. What's the point? Why would they do this? Why would they not do this? First of all, it depends upon what you mean by law and order. Okay? Very interesting point. Gavin Newsom is going to say nothing but lie. He's going to be saying to you, we have to do something to secure our border. I'm a governor of a border state. And you're going to say, whoa, wait. Wait a minute. You're saying, yes, I understand that borders are, wait, you haven't done anything. No, I'm a victim of this as well. We have to do something about this. We have to take hold of and whatever he says, you'll say, okay. Americans deep down inside, if you ask them, do you think border sovereignty is a good idea? They'll say, well, yeah, not kids in cages and all that stuff. But every American will tell you that it's not a good idea to let anybody come in without checking them for COVID. What if they were transphobes? What if they were white nationalists? What if they were everybody has some group that they can see as worthy of stopping. Everybody. The question is, they've kept quiet about that because remember what motivates them more than anything else. No Trump. Let me say it differently. If Trump was not anywhere on the horizon, what would the Democrats stand for? I don't know. And I can't answer the question. And I'm not saying it just to be cute. I really don't know. What would they stand for? Is it really about transgender? No. There was a Dove commercial. What was it, Honey Dove? They were celebrating women's sports. These are the same people who were celebrating trans. They changed their mind and do you think the left really don't believe that there's a difference between men and women? No. Do you believe that classic, we used to call them country club Republicans, but imagine kind of country club, like regular Democrats, people from just look around you. If you think for a moment that femininity is dead, if you think that women being girls is dead, if you think for 1 minute that women have abandoned being women, if you really think that, oh, there are a few here and there, yes, but seriously, no. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No way. Absolutely not. And you stop and ask yourself, so then what's the big why did we do it? Part of the reason is, and we're just guessing because there's no rule book, to cause instability, to also beta test people to see, can we get people to agree with this? Let's give it a shot. Let's see if we can tell them. Let's see if we can somehow put together this idea, this notion, this sheer unmitigated lunacy that men and women are the same and that women, there is not anybody, any woman who truly believes, that a man can compete against a woman. Nobody does. Now, you're going to hear this. You're going to hear stuff because people, as you know, will do and say anything. How do I know that? One of the best beta tests ever. Can we see if people will destroy their dermal real estate with tattoos? Yes. I know you've heard me say this. This was a test to see, do you think people will do this? Yes. Do you think people will really, disfigure themselves? Yes. And once you remember, once you start the momentum, it will pick up because it wasn't a little tramp stamp, a little butterfly here and there. That's not what we're talking about. Oh, no. All of a sudden, overnight, it turned into necks and eyes and, sleeves, and it just, so people will do and say anything. Let me say this again, especially on the left, because they have no soul. Why do I say that? Republicans, believe it or not, for the most part, and this is very general, believe, Raul, to answer your questions, in concepts. Law and order, the flag, family, God, military, patriotism, God, church. This is the stuff. If you want to go out there, one of the classic songs that Lee Greenwood, from the corner, I was going to sing almost 16th Avenue, God bless the USA, I'm proud to be an American. The right, the prototypical right, identifies with the flag, being a part of something bigger. The left identifies with being an individual. I'm not a part of anything. I'm an individual. I'm a selfish person who has been pulled out of the fast lane. I remote learn. I won't go to work. I will not go to school. I am not going to look at you in the eye. I am not going to, I revert, and I live in this world of me, solipsistic, Karen, and there Karen's in the right, but I'm being very, very general here. It's individual. It's how does this affect me? This person has the right to be a man or woman because I have the right, because me. It's about me, and it's about my feelings and my anxiety and my CBDs and my therapy dog and my insights and my feeling and me and my car and my and I hate you. And I hate the other side. It's like, what do you stand for? I don't know. Me. I stand for me. It's about me, the United States of me. I don't have any big overarching theories. This is what they think. There's nothing there. It's about me. And also, I hate Trump. I've got two people 2 people. They have no idea. And I've told them, I said, you have no idea what you've done for me. 2 people. And I'm not going to say too much because you might figure out who they are. One is brilliant. And they're saying, I would vote for Biden because Biden can't hurt us. And I'm saying, have you not? Their hatred of Trump is so great. It absolutely, let me give you an example. Give me an example. I have a friend. We have a friend who loves the fact that she is allergic to food. It's identified her. She says, excuse me? Yes. That we actually heard this one time at lunch. If there are any nuts in this, I'm going to die. I'm going to, what? I mean, she loves it. And by the way, here's a list. No soy, no nuts, no green peppers, no shrimp like, no fish, no iodine, no. And it defined her. Well, what do you want to eat? Well, I'll tell you what I can eat. Shrimp, nuts, tree nuts, underground nuts, tree nuts, Brazil nuts, pecans. Wait a minute. But what do you want? Oh, I don't know what I want, but I'm going to tell you what I don't want. I don't want nuts, trees, because this defines me. That's the left. I'm not Trump. I hate Trump. I'm not them. But what are you? I don't know what I am. It's about me, but I can't put you on the ballot. This is the way. Now, when you want to go to Republicans, you talk about our liberty, the Constitution, the flag, us. It's much easier. Us, pride, the military, our history, yes, the wall, God, family, yes. See, it's not selfish in the least. I know that's very basic, but it's really true. I am, says, will you ever re-upload your old content from before 2020 that was removed? I was very sad when they were removed. Thanks, Lionel, for a long time. No. No, the answer is simply this. Videos do not age well. Absolutely not. Get rid of them. I have no interest in them. Next. Absolutely not. They don't age. They just, I go and I purge and I was like, it doesn't matter. I don't want them anymore. I don't even want to see it. The world has changed. They're like loose cells that pick up it's like they're free radicals that pick up stuff. So the answer is no. Absolutely. I learned a long time ago. This is a minefield. And social media, now on my private channel, yes, that's forever and ever and ever. I can say whatever I want. Nobody bothers me. This is a different story. And if you think, despite what Elon Musk or anybody else says, that they have removed all the landmines, you're out of your mind. Eric Thaddeus Walter says, does any state in the USA have police stops randomly to check papers and search vehicle? EU does since World War II. Can't retube the toothpaste. Wake up, America. Well, I'll tell you what. I have no particular reason why I know why they don't. I am constantly walking around with some form of ID. I told you I got my brand new MTA card that says senior citizen. I love that with a big R. There's my this. When I go into CVS, would you punch in I got my phone, or here's your CV. By the way, Mrs. L at CVS. Oh my God. I don't know how she does it. Go ahead, punch a number in. Jeez. Here's your driver's license, your Easy Pass. You're just always, I mean, the idea that I can't at any time be made or requested to show my information, absolutely not. It will never happen. Why? Because it completely goes against the notion of destroying the sovereignty of this country through this. And what I was saying before was, let's assume that China comes through. And if you said, why aren't we sending the 82nd Airborne, 1st Marine Division? Why aren't we doing this? Well, we're going to have a hearing. You're going to have a what? We're going to have a hearing. You're going to have a hearing. That's Jim Jordan. Biggest con man ever. The Republicans are cons. Now, Republican politicians. Republicans are the actual, rank and file voter type. They're a different story. But They haven't stopped this. You mean to tell me, you really mean to tell me that in case there was a corrupt leader that allowed China, let's say, to storm our borders, you mean you wouldn't be able to stop this? Nope. Wait a minute. You mean to tell me that in the event you wouldn't be able to stop this? Couldn't stop it. You couldn't? Nope. It's incredible. It blows my mind. You couldn't stop it. Could not stop it. Well, what's the good of you? Wait a minute. I don't know. You mean to tell me, nobody would declare war on this? No. Here is the very first thing that would be the most important and the most critical. Number one, we have to understand something. American military is here, not necessarily not supporting. When you send all of our money and all of our ammunition and all of our weapons to Israel and Ukraine, no. Here. Priority number one. Number two, if I was your president, I am going to declare war against Mexico, Mexican cartels, the Jalisco, the Juarez people, the Zetas. That's what I do. Because that is our enemy. Do I make myself clear? That is our enemy. Period. Number two, I go in to, and I'm going to start with Kensington, right up, which is Philly. Kenzo. I'm going to go into Kensington. I'm going to take everybody and say, get out. I don't care where you go. Get out. You can't defecate and urinate and inject yourself on the sidewalks with blood shooting out of open veins. No. And then I take huge water cannons. I clean the sidewalks with disinfectant and hazmat people. And it's a big, I just wash. You ever watch those great YouTube, those power washers? It's so that, what's that? ASMR or AMS? I get them confused. ASMR. These power washers, that's what I would do. Absolutely. Then I go and I pick up all tents. We don't have tents on the street. We don't do this. Pick them up. You've got till noon, let's say Friday. Pick your stuff up and get out of here. I don't care where you go. We're not going to do this. You don't have tents. We have zoning. We have houses. We have this. You have to have parking lots here. We have zoning laws, and we do not have a law that says you can just set up a pup tent on a corner or some lean-to and live in a cardboard box because you're drug-addled. You understand it? Okay. Next thing. While we appreciate the fact that drug addiction is a problem, it is an addiction, we're not going to tolerate it. Let me see if I can explain this to you. You see, when you're diabetic and you have lived a life, let's say, of overindulgence, and you have incurred the wrath of diabetes by virtue of your lifestyle or whatever it is, then we are in the position where we're going to say to you, well, you're putting a tax on our healthcare system, but we'll try to help you and whatever. But you're really not hurting anybody. Nobody says, have you, this diabetic, there are diabetics all over the place. My God, I was at a stoplight and this diabetic comes up and they don't bother us. Drug addiction is a different story. Yes, it's a problem. Yes, it's tragic, but it's also a crime. It is a crime for you to be strewn out on the street. It is a crime for you to try to victimize people in order to perpetuate this habit of yours. We're not going to tolerate it. That's it. You're not going to be in the streets. And it's like Rudy Giuliani did. It's the broken window. You're going to say, wow, We are not going to do this. And if I'm president, every city's going to say, you call this number 511, not 311, not 911, call 511, and we will send somebody up and we will get rid of these people. We'll pick their shit up and say, get out. Whatever you do, we don't care. We are under no obligation as a city or as a country or a state or county to perpetuate this insanity. We will make things available to you, but we're not going to have you ruin it for everybody else. That's simple. It's done. Borders, you won't recognize the borders. I will have so many, not only that, I will deputize new people. I will have militias. I will have military, National Guard, police. You won't be, the sign will be, I dare you. I dare you. Drones, I don't care. As soon as somebody's there, light goes on. There they are. Get them. Believe me. And then I find out, where are you? Why are you here? The coyote. Notice how I say that? Not coyote. Wile E. Coyote. It's the coyote. The coyote. Oh, really? Where are the coyotes? They're over there. They're the Zetas. Okay, good. We tell the president of Mexico, we're going after them. We're going to bomb you. Excuse me, we're the United States. We bomb people in places for reasons nobody knows. Ask Soleimani or ask these people. We'll hit you with hellfire missiles. We don't give a damn where you are. And we do it, and nobody ever says, hey, you can't do that because we're the United States. All of this would change immediately. Immediately. Period. Period. And by the way, I want everybody to get around diversity. If you're going to allow men to transition into women and to appear on, the sports teams, everybody today is black. Fill out all applications, African American. Everybody. Why? Let's just do it. Diversity this. Go ahead and say, wait a minute, is this? No. I'm gonna dolazol your ass. No, we're all gonna do it. Everybody. You want diversity? I'm diversity. I'm African American. No, you're not. Yes, I am. I'm transitioning. You know what? My transition's over. Ta-da! I'm black. Sign me up. Put me in there. No more white. Nobody say white. No more white. No more. I'm transitioning. How do you like your affirmative action now? How do you like it? Come on, you told me that it's okay. You want diversity? Believe me. Democrats, rank and file, regular Democrats would say, I kind of like that. Now, the idiots on MSDNC, they don't represent anybody. Come on. You confuse the two. That's where we are. Now, I want to tell President Trump, I enjoy what you're doing regarding Vivek, and he's just loving the, oh my God, there he is with Melania. There you, oh, look at this. You know what I love? I don't know about you. I think one of the greatest things in the world, I never knew anything about this, hair extensions. What a business. All of a sudden overnight, look at this. I've got long hair. Hey, how did you do that? Oh, okay. Hair means nothing. Whoopi Goldberg, Joy Reid, and hair extensions. What is this? Look at this. My God. Look at I've got my hair is like it overnight. Is that real hair? Well, I paid for it. Everything we do is artificial. Everything. Artificial gender, artificial hair, artificial skin, everything. Artificial. We're synthetic, artificial, fugazi. Doesn't really matter. But President Trump, with all due respect, sir, please, if you are out of your mind if you think Vivek Ramaswamy is going to sit back and not overshadow you. You're out of your mind. And if you think Carrie Lake, if you trust her, I'm hearing scary stuff about Carrie Lake. Have you ever seen Carrie Lake? Carrie Lake's about Carrie Lake. You don't want that as a vice president. What was good about Mike Pence? Mike Pence kept his mouth shut. Mike Pence was Mike Pence. Dan Quayle, fantastic. Keep your mouth shut. Just stay there. Don't do anything. Dick Cheney was the most powerful vice president in the history of this country. Everybody else is like, Walter Mondale. That's what you want. Vivek Ramaswamy. What are you, nuts? No. He's going to always overshadow you. Did you hear what he said today? What are you going to do? Reel him in? Vic, what are you doing? Shut up. You're the vice president. No, I was just, no. I'm the man. I'm the man. I'm the top dog, not you. What are you doing? What the hell are you doing? Don't do this. Keep your mouth shut. I picked you to keep your mouth shut. And you think these other people are going to do this? What? You laugh. I'm telling you right now, Ben Carson will be perfect. Because people say, and by the way, if you believe in this African-American black quotient thing, okay, go ahead. I think people like him. I know he's kind of boring. That's the idea. He's going to do this. Brain surgeon. He's kind of calming. He doesn't seek the spotlight. Believe me. Believe me. And if something happens, he can do it. Your vice president is somebody. Remember, that's the guy. Ask John Kennedy, well, if you could, about how he can, how he has to watch out for his vice president. Does the name Mac Wallace come to mind? Does that mean anything to you? Any of you folks out there? And by the way, Bobby Kennedy, lose the my uncle, my father. Nobody knows. Nobody. These people, they're too young for this. Talk about what you're going to do. But you're toast. You're done. You're not. You are a spoiler, and you're just going to cleave votes from Trump. That's all you're going to do. Hang on. Pence was a disaster as a vice president. No, he wasn't. Absolutely not. No. At the end, when they wanted him to whatever it was, absolutely not. He was there and he thought he was quiet. He got the evangelical people. He even looked like that character from, what was it? The Steven Seagal movie. Remember that? No, he was fine. Absolutely. At the end, it was a different story. Well, I think the noose kind of, you know what I mean? That'll do it. Oh, you got to be kidding me. Pence was not, you never even saw him. You never even saw him. You never even know he was there. It was beautiful. What are you talking about? For the love of God, no way, Jose. No, it doesn't work like that, my friend. You may think it works like that, but it doesn't work like that. I'm sorry to tell you that, but it doesn't work like that. Okay? I know it sounds like he was terrible. No, he was perfect. He never bothered Trump. He was just there in the background. That's all you want. Just stay there. That's all. All right, dear friends, that's it. You have a great and a glorious day. I hope everybody's doing great. Thank you so much for your kindness. Sparky, thank you. Eric, Thaddeus Walters, thank you as well. I am Raul Rodriguez. Thank you for your kindness and your perspicacity. We will talk to you later, dear friends. And remember this. Remember. Until we speak again next time, remember this. Always, as I say, the monkey's dead. The show's over. Oh, see you tonight at 7 p.m. The monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue you. Ta-ta.